Please excuse me as I'm a little under the weather, so you're gonna have to forgive me for how I sound, which is why there was no episode yesterday, even though I was originally planning to. And plus, yesterday was ultra busy at my house, so my apologies for that. Welcome to episode 2, aka the Dylan Harper installment of Spurs Roundup here on Mark Oliveris Enterprises. And in this episode, we will be reviewing the last two home games to start the season against the Nets and the Raptors. We'll be previewing the one tomorrow against Miami, and of course, the most important one I'm going to on Sunday while I'm in Phoenix for the NASCAR Championship weekend, the one against the Suns in America West Arena. First off, the home opener against the Nets during the Old Dominion 500 NASCAR Winston Cup chase for the Cup cutoff race. It was a neck-and-neck game to start, but then eventually the Spurs took control of the game, and it looked like where they forgot how to play basketball and were about to give it away. And were you expecting the Spurs of the last 6 years? Well, too bad. You're not getting that with these Spurs. When they blow big leads, at least these Spurs have known how to figure it out and remember how to play basketball when they're about to blow a big lead. And guess what? They managed to never look back and, keep their foot on the gas and, maintain that comfortable pace and get the victory that they deserve to have. Now, the one against the Raptors, they had control over this from start to finish, and it looked like it was going to be a repeat of the Nets home opener where it looked like they were going to give it away for a minute too against, with Mamu Kelashvili's homecoming, featuring that Bobby Labonte 360 layup by Wemby. But just like against the Nets on Sunday and against the Pelicans on Friday night in New Orleans, these Spurs figured out how to play basketball when it mattered most, when they were about to blow a huge lead. They got their foot back on the gas, kept it there, didn't get too complacent, just held on for a well-deserved victory that they knew they should have had. And guess what? Unlike the Spurs the last 6 years, they actually got this win. And my homeboy, David Jones-Garcia, finally scored his next set of points in the NBA. Previewing our next game against the Heat and again the SBC Center in San Antonio. Obviously, the Heat will be without their, one of their players, the key players, Terry Rozier, thanks to that arrest from illegal gambling. So we got to take advantage of that as best as possible. So therefore, this is going to be my last game on TV for until next week, until after the Sunday game, which we'll preview in a second, comes and goes. Therefore this is going to be a crucial game for us to do something that Tim Duncan and David Robinson Spurs even never did. Duncan Spurs nor Robinson Spurs, let alone Pop Spurs, ever started a season with a 5-0 record. Could Wembanyama and Mitch Johnson Spurs be the first Spurs team to start with the 5-0 record? We're gonna have to find out tomorrow night, because you just never know what's going to happen next. It's the NBA, a highly unpredictable sport. Sports are supposed to be unpredictable, so including the NBA and Spurs basketball alone, so anything can happen. We'll just have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully, we can watch it with Jacob and Sean on Fox Southwest and not the opposing team's commentators, as long as, the streaming websites actually cooperate with us and give us what we want. And last but not least, this is the game I'm going to be at, but right now my health is racing against the time to make sure I'm well in time to go leave for Phoenix on Halloween. So, therefore, this will be my first Spurs game in a location that's not San Antonio or Detroit or Cleveland. So it's going to be really weird for me, but it's going to be a very unique experience that I've never tried before, but at the same time I have tried before. So therefore I'll be in Suns territory. I won't have anyone to boo because, it's still the Spurs road game. The only reason why I had someone to boo in San Antonio was because it was against the Cavs of all people. Since even though I'm from Ohio, I went to the Spurs territory when the Cavs were introduced, when, doing fraud event earned his fake Kyle Petty nickname for fighting Zack Attack. That's when I got to finally boo the Cavs without any repercussions, since it was in Spurs territory. Like, I fit right in and not Cleveland and Crapalier territory. So that felt pretty nice, considering I may live in the 216, but my team always has been and always will be in the 210, even though as someone from the 216 territory that's a Spurs fan where the Crapaliers play, since I was a Spurs fan from the 216 and watching a game in the 210, it felt like I fit right in, was in San Antonio my whole life. But in this case, I don't have to worry about that. I'm not a Suns hater, but at the same time, I'm not a Suns fan, so I will be pretty neutral against the Suns here. So I'm really looking forward to going to this, like midway through the race at Chuck Art Parts 500. So therefore, 2 races and 1 game on this weekend. And I think since, November 1st is the deadline for Swipa to come back, I guess that means I will be seeing him in Phoenix after all. So therefore, I'm not sure how Luke Cornett is doing with the ankle. I hope it's just a light sprain. So hopefully he'll be back sooner than later, because I'm going to be disappointed if I don't get to see him on Sunday. But it also won't be all gloom and doom or the end of the world, because at least I got the December 5th game here in Ohio against the Cavs to try it again to see everybody. I don't know we'll be seeing Lindy Waters the third on Sunday. We'll just have to wait for the Sunday injury report to come out when the time gets close. But honest to God, I could care less if the imposter and Patty Mills number plays or not, because like I said, since he took Patty's number and did not just did what did put LaMarcus Aldridge 2015-16 with Bowen's number instead of when he took when Bowen allowed him to use his number to keep his Portland identity. Where if I was Bowen, I would have told them no, like if you want to keep an identity of your own, use your college number 23. Sure, 23 is my MJ and LaFour and 6 in the finals when it comes to the league as a whole, but in San Antonio, 23 would give you your own identity. That's what I think we should have done with the Olympics, saying no, you cannot have the number 8. That's going to be saved to retire in Patty Mills' name in the Raptors, so we can always give you the 88. Now, if the Holtz, R.C. Buford, Mitch Johnson, Brian Wright Pop in the front office had done that, then I would have had a lot more respect for Kelly Olynyk. But guess what? Unfortunately, they don't know how to do stuff like that. So unfortunately, I cannot root for this guy, because until he's off the team, I will not be rooting for this son of a bitch. So if I don't get this, if he's still hurt by Sunday, I don't get to see him, I will not be upset in the slightest. So therefore, but I know he's a valuable backup. He's a decent player, and I see why a lot of Crapalier fans don't like him after what he did to Kevin Love in 2015, which the Crapaliers, to be fair, realistically could have won 2 championships in a row. But let's face it, now I see why the Cavs fans don't like him. There's for a different reason. My reasoning is because he took an all-time franchise greats number. So therefore, for no matter how well he does or doesn't do for us when he comes back, I still will not be cheering for that man. It's okay to have a player on your favorite team, but you don't have to cheer for them if you don't want to, as long as the reasoning is good. So therefore, I know Fox will be back on Sunday, because November 1st is a Saturday, and that's the deadline when he's supposed to be back cleared to play. But as far as Cornette goes, I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed. But if not, then that's what December 5th is for. And then as far as, Waters and the imposter and Patty Mills number is, that's doubtful for me, because I don't know when the hell they're coming back. I know Lindy Waters is not going to be out for too long, so he could come back anytime, but, the false Patty Mills, that's up in the air. But anyway, let me go get off this thing and end the episode right here so I can get some rest and determine my status for tomorrow, whether or not I'm going to go in, because I'm fighting a cold, which is something. It's not too bad. I kind of did catch it in a timely manner. I did stay home today because I was kind of clogged, but I'm not completely clogged on both ends. So it could have been a lot worse, but luckily for me, it isn't. So therefore, if I'm feeling well enough tomorrow, then I will go in and we'll finish what we started. I only took 1 day off today, but I'm not as stuffy now. This is one of these quickie colds that just come and go in in a snap of a finger. Kind of like what happened to me on December 2022, right before Christmas break that year during season 2 of Winter Wonderland. So I'm guessing this is Winter Wonderland season 2, 2022-23 part 2, except in season 5 of Adventures in Autumn, where I have a bad cold. It looks like it's all gloom and doom, but then before you know it, a day later, I'm getting nursed back to health magically. Maybe it's because the medical guys kind of feel bad and don't want me to be sick on my trip, so they're kind of letting me be curing my health magically just in time for me to leave for Phoenix with a clean bill of health on Friday morning. So maybe obviously that's not how it actually works, but that's a good way to look at it. We'll see how we feel tomorrow is where we're gonna go in. But have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. See you all for the next video, which will be tomorrow for the Spurs game review against, when we go over the game against the Heat in the SBC Center in San Antonio. And the vlog of the Phoenix trip will be edited on this computer. What happens on the track and on the court will be on the vlog camera. What happens off the track and off the court will be on the phone. So it's going to be a lot of work, but it won't be uploaded until sometime after the Sandy Ridge finale, which will be recorded as per tradition once I come back, either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We have to pick a day that's good enough for us, because don't forget, we still have to see Cassie, and we have a couple Spurs games on most of those days that we have planned to record it, and Yeah, so therefore, we'll have to like, it's all about the timing and proper scheduling. We'll figure it out as time goes on, and then, we'll hopefully do some TikToks with our NASCAR friends, that work in the sport, like, Austin Dillon's wife, maybe Ty Dillon's wife. I don't, even though she barely uses TikTok, Denny Hamlin's girl, Jordan Fish, maybe Kyle Busch's wife, Samantha Busch. I am not a Hamlin or Kyle Busch fan, but because I'm friends with Denny Hamlin's girl, Jordan, and sort of friends with Kyle Busch's wife, the reason why I said I would do a TikTok with them, because I feel like I think they would like that. Only, considering it's coming from a NASCAR fan, let alone a race fan in general, who doesn't root for their husbands. I don't root for Denny Hamlin or Kyle Busch, but I'm kind of like cool with their misses, which is why I think if I did a TikTok dance with them, I think Jordan Fish would like that, and I think Samantha Busch would like that too. I mean, they would be flattered that a non-fan of their husbands would be or actually be brave enough to do a TikTok with them. So that's like, it's a hopefully make their make their wish come true. I don't know if they ever wish for it, but I'm just granting my own self upon wish to them that I would actually make them happy. So you'll see it in the video, on the YouTube video, when sometime after the Sandy Hurts finale, and on TikTok, as I'm, going through the weekend, going into the time I come back on Monday and go back to work on Tuesday. But anyway, now we can say goodbye for real, and just shut the fuck up, quit yapping, and stop rambling, and, go get some rest, and, hopefully get nursed back to health in time for Friday morning. So see you later, everyone. And as always, go Spurs, go. This has been the Dylan Harper installment, aka episode 2 of Spurs Roundup here on Mark Oliveira's Enterprises. The Keldon Johnson installment, well, I don't know when that's coming and what that's going to preview or review or discuss in terms of Spurs news, but we will figure that out as time goes on throughout the rest of the end of this week, going into the whole weekend. As soon as I find a timetable to record and put that installment out, I'll pass it along to all of you immediately. We'll go from there, and before you know it, I'll record it and then release it to the public on YouTube. But I will catch you guys tomorrow for the game against the Heat when we go over the recap that in our game review, and then hopefully what the NASCAR racing at Phoenix for the championship on Saturday and Sunday, first part of Sunday, and of course at the second part of Sunday when the Spurs go against the Suns at America West Arena. So catch you guys then.